was weird. You know, you spend a lot of time watching other sellers on whatnot and seeing what they have to offer, how they're dressed, how they act, how they look. And if, some are not on camera. Um, and, I kind of enjoy the ones that aren't on camera because uh, of their voices, the way they talk, the way they are with the customers. And most of all the sellers on whatnot are pretty presentable or very characterized. Um, it's quite an entertaining app. But I was just in this girl's show. Now, this is weird because she had like 200 sales. You can look at their profile and see their stuff. And uh, somebody was real friendly in there, and they were out of Oklahoma. And they said, "Oh, the other day you had an Oklahoma shirt on. So we're uh, no." "Where in Oklahoma are you?" And the girl says, "I'm not in Oklahoma. I'm in Arkansas." Okay, Arkansas instead of Arkansas, Arkansas. Now that the girl looks way under 18. Okay, she really truly does, and it kind of looked like she was really nervous, and like her parents were making her do the show by herself or something like that. And none of my kids would ever be like that. They are very adult and professional, and they're terrific salespeople. I'll tell you that right now. But I was just shocked, especially my youngest. I was just shocked because this girl, and I told her, I said, "You look about 15," and she said, "No, I'm not. I'm way, way older than that." And she was real snotty about it. And then the the other girl said, "Well, uh, the other show you did, you had an Oklahoma shirt on." She said, "Oh, I bought that off of whatnot." And she's like, "I'm not in Oklahoma." And they said, "Oh, well, what city are you in Arkansas?" And she said, "Well, there's a lot of cities in Arkansas." And I just said, "Man, this is really creepy." And that's when I went to look at her profile. I thought, why is she like hiding? I mean, everybody's real friendly on whatnot, and everybody, likes to say where they're from and, all that kind of thing. And it's kind of fun to see the people that are from all over the states that are on there. It's very intriguing, especially if it's places you've been to. Everybody's super friendly. Um, wow, the girl was really strange, and she said, "Well, I've just had a really weird night. People just kind of in and out of here." Well, I guess so. If you're going to be a snotball to prospective customers, I mean, they are going to be just in and out, And I mean, she went from like 9 people watching to all of a sudden like 18 people watching. Then we drop back down again, and there is a lot of business at night. The later you can run at night, the better it is on whatnot. I'm running auctions all day long, and it gets very tiring, especially when you've got to do all the pictures and descriptions and all that stuff. And then, I did a show today without any of that. I just run jewelry and let them pick what they wanted. I had a girl walked right in from Texas, and she was like, "I want that and that." And I said, "Okay, you want me to run them together?" She said, "Sure." Gave her a killer price on it. Said, "We'll start the bid at this." And, my shipping was on the spot because, I waited right there. And she bid on it, and she was the only winner right there. Boom. Nobody else bid against her. And, um, and I was real friendly and nice. And I'm like, all right, because part of her name was Texas. And I'm like, all right, Texas, I've been there lots of times. I like Grapevine a lot. It's very nice. But yeah, but anyway, this girl was really, really strange. And I said, well, I'm out of Destin, Florida. And then another girl said where she was from and stuff. And the girl was kind of like, so. It was really weird. I mean, wow. Now, Whatnot is very personable. If you are not a very personable individual, it's probably not going to work out well for you as a seller because people are super super friendly on Whatnot. And I mean, like people are like overly friendly. I mean, there's some sellers I love to just go in and visit and say hi because they are so nice. As soon as they see that you've come into the room, they notice you right off the top, and they're super nice and friendly and say nice happy things. And I'll go in there and be like the cheerleader. I'm like, wow, that's pretty, or I love the color, or that's a really good deal, and it helps the seller. It keeps them from being nervous when there's conversation moving. It helps them feel good about the products that they're selling. But man, I'm gonna tell you that girl was so strange. It just gave me the deepest, creepiest feeling to, watch her show in just like 10 minutes time. Creeped me completely out. Yeah. And so I'm sitting here thinking, well, if she's selling on here, what's the big secret of where she's out of? Because I mean, you can say the city and state. It's not like they're asking you your physical address of exactly where you live in. And guess what? When you go to ship, you got some kind of address on there. I don't care if it's a PO box or what it is. Um, you got some kind of address on there. So why are you afraid to say in your auctions what city you're in? Or working out of. I mean, that's just creepy. I couldn't believe the bad feeling I got watching her. Really strange, and to have I mean, over 100 sales, less than 200. I mean, you sold a little bit, so why would you be like hiding? Why would you be so horrible to people? And I mean, are you like that hillbilly that you don't know how to say Arkansas? Are you just being obnoxious about the state of Arkansas, making fun of it? I mean, I don't get it. And I know that girl that was being real friendly, going, "Oh, what city are you in Oklahoma?" Just trying to make conversation and be friendly, and the girl turns around and goes, "I'm not in Oklahoma. I'm in Arkansas." Wow. I don't know. Uh, I think a lot of that is your mouth and your attitude is hurting your business really a lot. Um, that's why, when you complain and say, wow, people are just kind of in and out tonight. And it's like, yeah, because of your mouth. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And she was starting a giveaway, and then she stopped it. That was really strange. And then the giveaway she had was some kind of, it looked like a giant scrunchie. And later she had described it as some kind of thing you sleep in that makes your hair curl or something. And she said, I got it on Whatnot, and it's just not for me, or didn't work for me, or something like that. So now she's giving away a used item. I mean, I'm not following. I'm not following this. Um, And especially if it's been used on hair, that's not cool. Um, it really seems like it was used. So then she pulled up a Lululemon tank top and and uh, says, well, it's 12 inches armpit to armpit, but it stretches, and she pulls it way out. And she's just holding it in her hands, and it looked like it had no lie. This thing was black. It looked like it had deodorant on both armpits. I swear to God. I don't know if it's a camera or what, but it sure looked like big blotches of white deodorant on the armpits. And so then she goes to run it. As the girl said, "Yeah, I like that. I'd like some Lululemon." And she runs the auction, puts $20 on it, right? And I'm going, $20, because it did not look new, for one, or she has a really bad camera. She didn't show up for about 5 seconds, and I wasn't even on a hanger or nothing, just kind of in her hands. And so nobody bid on it. We all just kind of sat there, like, okay. And then I asked, is it used or new? And she says, used. Man, I ran some Lululemon the other day for $2 each. Used. I must be missing the bus. Yeah. Uh, I don't know. Really strange experience, and very sad. Um, very sad. She's a cute girl, but she just really had a crappy attitude and obnoxious answers for no reason at all. I just don't know, you guys. Shocking. Wow. Amazing. But all in all, Whatnot is really a wild and crazy place to go. Even if you're not buying, you just want entertainment. There's terrific entertainment on Whatnot. There's a lot of people that do free giveaways. The sellers have to pay the shipping on the giveaway. Um, Whatnot will pay for it. But uh, there's a lot of really fun giveaways too, in a lot of the places, especially with the bigger sellers that sell really a lot. They tend to be real frequent with giveaways. You don't have to do giveaways, but Whatnot likes you to do them, but you don't have to do them. But it's a real wild and crazy place to go. It's hilarious. It's funny. There was a girl on there one night that had all hoodoo makeup on, and like, like for Halloween kind of thing. Really wild. Um, you get people dressed up in costumes. You get people that yell all the time. You get people that talk very soft. You get all different types of music. Um, it's really very interesting. But it's just the big new thing now is to go on Whatnot. It is the happening thing because it's live. Hey, hey, what's going on, my friend? I was just talking about Whatnot. I just had a really creepy experience on there. Really strange. Really, really strange. But yeah, so but I mean, all in all, it's really an entertaining place. It's free to go to. It'll run the battery out of your phone big time in a real big hurry. But it's fun. They sell all kinds of different things on there. The biggest thing that is sold, and there's so many, I think there's too many sellers, but they're doing great because they're making bank. Um, I just wouldn't have that many of that one type of sellers, the ones that do the cards and the Funko Pops and all that stuff. There's truckloads of people selling this stuff. Yeah, this girl was super creepy. I just went into her show and I spent maybe, maybe 10 minutes in there, probably more like 5. And it was really weird. And, you know, the customers can chat and then the seller can talk. And there's all different kinds of personalities that are going on. And this girl, she looked super young. I mean, really young. And I thought, oh, she's trying to help her parents sell or something, you know. And so this one girl in the chat goes, "So what city are you? Are you from in Oklahoma?" And she says, "Oh, I'm not in Oklahoma." And she said, "Oh, I thought you were because on your other show you had an Oklahoma shirt on." She said, "Oh, I bought that on Whatnot." She says, "I'm in Arkansas." Oh, really? Yeah, and I was like, "Is this girl serious?" I'm trying to figure out if she's just being obnoxious or she's just a total hillbilly. I mean, who says Arkansas? Maybe people who've never been there. It's sort of like saying Chicago, Illinois. You don't say the S. You know, you just don't. Um, it's Illinois. But yeah, and so she was really kind of a snotball, and the girl says, "Oh well, uh, what city are you in Arkansas?" And the girl says, "There's lots of cities in Arkansas." And it was just like everybody went still. Nobody's typing nothing. It just kind of stopped. And and I was like really shocked. And I told her, I said, I literally did. I went on there and I typed. It was something to the effect of, um, well, I'm out of, Destin, Florida. Um, and I mean, if you're selling on here, it's going to say the city and state on your shipping label when people order from you. And then somebody else jumped on there and said, "Yeah, well, if you want to know the city and state, then I guess you better make an order." And I was like, wow, wow, really strange. I mean, like, who are you hiding from? Super strange. I've never seen a show like that. I've never seen anybody on Whatnot like that. Yes, there's lots of people that have their first show, they're scared to death, or they've had their second and third show and they're scared to death. And you get in there and you be nice to them. You tell them they look great, you love the color they're wearing, they have a terrific accent, love the outfit, just whatever you can to kind of loosen them up. And then when they get stuck on things, because sometimes it's hard to run to auction because they don't know how. They don't do the test run one, and you're really supposed to do the test run one. And so everybody jumps in there and helps because there's a bunch of sellers on there. Someone's selling old Nintendo 64 games. Oh, they sell. You would never believe the stuff they sell in there. And like everybody likes to go on there and start selling that stuff for $1. The only problem is that as a seller, you only get paid 30 cents if you sell it for $1. The fees are like eBay. So a lot of them go, yeah, it's cool for $1, and then they'll spend hours upon hours selling hundreds of items for $1. And like I saw one girl, she busted her butt for 5 solid hours, morning to the afternoon, and she's a real sweet young girl. And her and her boyfriend will do the show for hours, and she starts everything at $1, all the clothes. She goes through a big description thing. She's really good about showing the clothes. She's got them hung up on a rack, real nice and neat. They look good, and it's just so much work for $1. And the more you have at a dollar, you got to pay 30 cents for each ad on top of it. So it's just insane. You might as well sell two for a dollar. Have you lined up extremely wealthy customers from the bit? What? But uh, but yeah, it was really strange with that girl. That was just really super super creepy. And then I told her, I said, you look like you're about 15 years old. And she said, well, I'm not. I'm way older than that. And it was just like, and then she goes, it's just a weird night tonight selling on whatnot because people are just kind of, they come in and then they just leave. Well, I got an idea why. I got a little idea why. Oh my gosh. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, they sell all kinds of stuff on there. If you want to get some really screaming deals, I know Jeffrey's on here. Look, I love you, Jeffrey. Um, but because goldfish won't get rides on a motorcycle for a low dollar, this will be exclusive clientele. That's what I'm talking about. You got to get on whatnot and start doing selling motorcycle rides. That's what I'm talking about. Bezos might buy three of them from me, man. Um, but they have all kinds of stuff sells on there. It's not everything's for a dollar, but there's a lot of brand new sellers that they just think they're gonna make out like bacon if they sell it for a dollar, but it doesn't really work out that way. The only way it's gonna be selling for a dollar is if you've got a lot of subs. Okay, that's the trick is to get subs, and getting subs, you have to really work on it. You have to do a lot of shows. You have to go visit other people's shows and be friendly and nice and helpful. And you would be surprised the people that will just automatically sub you. Um, and sometimes just as soon as they see your name pop up on the chat, because as soon as you enter a room, your name pops up, and people usually welcome you and or they know you and they're all real friendly. But that's what you do. You go around visit other people and that. But there's people selling stuff on there for thousands of dollars. Girl sold a pocketbook the other day on there for $7,000, and the payment goes through right there. Boom. Yeah, as soon as they buy it, it clears. I think they got a lot of credit card problems though because my cards will only run about 4 times a day. The companies do not like to let any more than like 4 transactions go a day because they think it's been hijacked. And there's people in there that spend some gigantic money and buy and buy and buy on there. And so, I mean, you've got a bunch of used Louis Vuitton. You've got about 3 dealers that are doing that. And Whatnot's real strict about not selling any fakes. They're extremely strict about that. And so, um, uh, it has to be legit or you are so gone, like instantly. But there's a lot of people selling used Gucci and Louis Vuitton and all that, and they are making thousands in just a few hours selling that stuff used. It is hard to believe. One that's really a lot of fun to watch is Elliot Sales. He does a bunch of Louis Vuitton and Gucci and all that, and he has total junk stuff. He starts the bid at $1, and that stuff screams. It's just, and then he's got some really near perfect pieces that are used that are in the shelves, and there's some people that will buy those, and it's amazing the business that Elliot does. Elliot was on 3 times today. I don't know how Elliot did that. And Elliot just run 1 or 2 hours a show, but just sells huge amount of money. Um, and does some great giveaways too. But really a funny show, just a crack up. Um, But there's a ton of sellers are letting them in they let the water gate down. Before you couldn't get on there, and they only had about 12 sellers selling pure garbage. And now there's tons and tons and tons of sellers. And I got a link you can click on. It'll give you like $10 or $15 free to purchase something in there, and you never have to spend any more money than that. Um, and the shipping's real reasonable. The more things you buy, the cheaper the shipping gets. In like 1 day period, if you're buying in there, like you buy one item and then the next item's gonna be like half the price shipping, and the next item's gonna be half the price shipping, and that's the way they do it. They just stack it up. So that's kind of neat. They don't do the pay the 4.50 on the first time and then $1 for everything else you buy after that. They don't do that anymore. And that was kind of good. That really helped the sellers too, but they're not doing it anymore. So, but there's just all kinds of different people sell on there. I never did nothing with it. Um, you should. I mean, you wouldn't have to pay a penny. You can go in there and buy something legitimately. It tells you before you bid, um, because your address is entered in there. It tells you exactly what the shipping's going to be on the item before you bid. It says right on there, and then the bid price is there, a starting bid. Unless you want to do buy it now or something. But there's so much stuff sold for $1 on there. I've looked at people's sales because you can click on their profile and you can go into what was sold and you can see everything they've sold. And I couldn't sit there for 5 hours and sell stuff for $1 each, dollar each, dollar each. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. Um, that's just so purely frightening. Um, and I mean, I have a lot of high end stuff that I show and all that. And I mean, I've cut a little break on some stuff just to get it moved because I need the liquid cash. But I can't do the dollar thing. Like I did some really nice jewelry today. It wasn't solid gold or solid sterling, but it was very nice, very, very nice costume jewelry, men's and women's. And, um, uh, it was like all the people in there were like waiting around for the dollar deal. And I didn't list anything in the store. One, because 20 items is a huge amount to sit around and list. It takes hours to do that. I wish you well every day. Thank you. Um, and because you got to photograph it and set it all up. So it takes hours to list 20 or 30 items in your store to get ready to run it on auction. After 20 or 30 items, which I've done that, I did like 50 one time. It takes forever, and you will be really aggravated real quick if you're not making any sales at all. And it happens. I mean, you might have 3 people the whole time you run auction. You might have 14 people the whole time you run auction, and nobody's buying anything. And it's probably all baby sellers that applied and are waiting for their approval from whatnot or whatever, and they just sit around and they don't talk or do anything, and they don't buy, and it gets kind of aggravating. It's like you're talking to Casper the Ghost. But yeah, there's a ton of stuff being sold for $1 on there. I mean, there's some people that are out of the Carolinas, and they're a real sweet, real country couple. I mean, their accent's so Georgia, and they're real sweet. They got on real early this morning. It was like 6 in the morning or something. I was up real early, so I saw them on there, and they're just the nicest couple. Um, and they're probably like in their 30s, maybe, and they're very country, but they're real sweet. And he's kind of a character. And they were selling dollar store stuff, all kinds of stuff. Everything was like $1, you know. And the people were actually buying it for like that, for like $1, $2, $3. And it was like, oh my gosh. And they had done, I think it was 5 hours, and they had listed the show as being the all day, all night show. Well, you have to really have a lot of chutzpah to want to do the all day, all night show, because even if you do a short show, you are wiped out. Because it takes a lot of energy. You have to be paying attention to the comments, you have to answer people's questions, you have to watch how you're, showing your items on camera, that the people can really see it well. Um, and you just have to know how to time it and everything. And then if you're running without putting any listings up, you want to make sure they get a really good view. So you're constantly showing and re-showing items, like I was doing that jewelry. And I'm constantly panning across jewelry. And I'm showing items up close, describing them, and answering questions. And you got to really pay attention to the comments, and respond to the people, or they just get aggravated to go somewhere else. They got to have another show that's more fun than yours. So you want to be nice, you want to be sweet, and you'll make a lot of customers that way, and you'll make a lot of friends that way, because they will sub you on the spot. If they like you, boy, you'll see it come across the screen. You'll see two hearts come across the screen that they just subbed you. And it's such a compliment, when somebody just plain likes you in the first 20 seconds. So it makes you feel great. And really, everybody's very nice on Whatnot. They really are. Um, uh, the sellers and the customers, the prospective buyers. It's really fun and it's funny, and you'll laugh and you'll have a great time, even if you don't buy anything. It's a very entertaining app. It really is. Um, and clicking on stuff where you go, I wonder what that is. And you click on it and go in there, and you'll see what they're selling, and then you'll kind of understand what they're selling. Like Funko Pops, I don't relate to that at all. It's some little plastic doll, and that's a big thing right now. People are collecting those and paying big money for them. It's just weird, uh, But it's really entertaining app, and it would be better watched like on the Roku. If you could watch that on the Roku on your TV, on your big TV, that would be flipping entertaining. It really would. Um, but yeah, it's very interesting, very entertaining app. Um, they sell vintage stuff a lot of the stuff that's on there is used vintage. Some of it's really old. Um, from grandma's jewelry to Nintendo and Atari games to uh, cameras, the old film cameras and stuff. There's a guy that does that a lot. He sells tons of those old cameras. I don't know where they're buying the film. They must have to order it online, because Walmart and all that's not selling that old film anymore. And there's very few camera stores around anymore. So, I really prefer, shooting my own pictures and printing my own prints. I really do. I did a lot of photography in college and in the dark room and stuff, and I love it. Oh, I love it. I've always wanted to have a dark room in my house. Always have. When I had my big house, I was gonna build a dark room in there. I love to shoot and print my own stuff. But yeah, they sell all kinds of different stuff on there. Um, they don't have everything, but almost. I mean, they're really getting more variety than what they had before, because before they didn't have much. They had used clothes, used shoes, new, and then new shoes, and then they had all kinds of trading card stuff, miles of that. Most everything was all trading card stuff, you know. And I don't relate to a lot of that, like that Pokemon stuff and baseball cards and some other weirdo cards that they call ripaways or something, and they'll take a whole box of these things, and the people bid on a pack at a time, and then they ask them if they want them to open them right there or just mail them to them. And a lot of them will say, no, go ahead and rip it, and they'll open it right there and call them out on the screen, and then they'll mail that to them. There's actually a commercial right now for Whatnot, and I don't know if you've seen it yet. It's brand new, and it has a guy screaming, doing one of those rip away card game things, and he goes, Whatnot, better show this to everybody. Somebody has a live setup called analog cameras. Yeah, that guy's great, man. That guy has been on there for a while, and has some neat stuff. Sells a ton too. Go look at the solds on there. If you go on that, click on their profile, click on their name on the top of the screen, the top uh, left, um, and then you click on profile will be on the bottom description thing, and then you go look at their profile and you'll see how many items they sold, and you'll see you won't see how long they've been on there. Some have only been on there a couple months and they sold thousands of items. And then you'll see the rating, and then below that it says auction, giveaway, and solds. And if you put your finger on the solds one, you can see everything they've sold just in that show. Because as soon as the show ends, the video disappears. So you can't go back and replay the video. Only Whatnot saves those. That way, if they have a buyer discrepancy, they can go into the video and they can see that the person bid on it or whatever, you know, and they can prove it. But other than that, you can't go back and watch a rerun of anybody's shows. They don't save them on your store or anything like that. But they sell all kinds of stuff on there. They really opened it up. There's so much more variety now. There was a lady doing candles, handmade candles and stuff, bath and body stuff. There's people sell makeup on there. There's people on there that sell kids' toys. Um, there's a girl called Fantastic Mermaid. Finn is super neat. Um, she does all Disney stuff, and she is really great on there. She puts a show on for you. A lot of times she dresses up and as a Disney character and stuff. Really neat. And her guy are really neat people on there. And I can't think of his name right now. Lynn or something like that is her guy's name. And but there's just all kinds of different stuff on there. Um, they're just letting it's like they let the water get down because they are letting so many sellers on there. It is hard to believe. The app is malfunctioning terrible. It freezes up, it dumps, it does stupid stuff because there's too many people on there all at once, and it's peaceful in the mornings, and then it gets more exciting to the afternoon, and then in the evenings, once the night falls, Whatnot is just completely wild. It is just unreal. You can click on show after show after show, and everything's different. It is totally wild. I like Fantastic Mermaid. I like Elliot Sales. Fantastic Mermaid is a girl that does Disney stuff. She's super sweet. And then I like Elliot Sales. Elliot Sales is out of Oklahoma. Let's see, I was going to say OK City. He's actually out of Tulsa. He's out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. I lived in Oklahoma for a short time, and I had a lot of relatives that lived out there. But Elliot is a sweetheart. You wouldn't even know that he was an Okie. Um, and he's gay and he's married. He's really classy, and he's such a character, so entertaining. Does a terrific show. I'll let you use Louis Vuitton and Gucci and stuff, and Chanel. Um, and then my friend Chris Lynn, that's in the San Jose area of California up north. He's got Daily Refinement on YouTube, and then he's got Daily Refinement. He had Daily Refinement that was on eBay, and then he's got Daily Refinement on Whatnot. And he sells so much, And he has people that work for him and they run it for hours and hours and hours. Now, he does dollar bids. But you know why? Because he has nothing less than 200 people watching at any show. And he also has like 50,000 subs, really and truly. So he sells a horrendous amount. He'll do, generally around 30K a day in sales and whatnot. And yeah, he does some reseller boxes to help people on eBay and that don't have access to a lot of the stuff. And I'm gonna tell you, used clothes in California is super high. But he's buying pallets of stuff like from Nordstrom and all that kind of thing. And he'll take some of it out and make reseller boxes and do it really reasonable. 100, $150. And these are pieces like you would sell on eBay for, $20, $30 each. And he put like 20 items in there. So, that works out real well. But they sell like the devil. They don't play music and all that other junk. They just sell. He has dollar start bids, but he has the clientele to pick it up. I've only one time ever seen anything on his whatnot sell for I think the lowest was $7 that I ever saw. Um, but other than that, everything just goes haywire. And even if it sells for $10, $15, every other one, whatever. I mean, that's when you're making money. But when you got, 50 or 75 of them that are a dollar, that's when you're not making money. Like I say, you're only going to take home 30 cents out of a $1 sale. People that do it to build up their business. The only problem is used stuff, unless it's like Patagonia or, some name brand that's real popular right now, people aren't going to bid on it. So I've done probably 30 auctions so far. And my sales are terrible low. Terrible low. So, and I weigh all my stuff. A lot of sellers won't weigh it, they just guess. And you don't want that stuff coming back, man, when you ship it out. You know, you want the weight right. So, that kind of creates a problem. The sellers just guess, and then they end up having a real cheap shipping rate. And then when they go to somebody else's show, they're like, man, they're selling shirts too. The price is different. Like Harley Davidson shirts. Harley Davidson shirts are so well made and so heavyweight that they are 1 pound. There are 16 ounces. They are 1 pound shirts. That's how well made Harley Davidson shirts are. That's why they last for years and years and years. And they're worth hundreds of dollars because they aged well, because they didn't totally fall apart, because they're really heavy duty. Plus, people wear them on motorcycles and they get beat to death in the wind. Harley's smart. They really make nice quality shirts. And, but they're heavy. It requires a little higher shipping cost. And, everything nowadays, if you ship a shirt, it's going to be $7, $8 or more. If you ship a pair of pants, and if it's jeans, you're going to cry. You're talking $13, $14 to ship a pair of jeans now. The shipping's gone up so much. It's insane. It's insane how high shipping is. You want to ship a CD or something like that, or DVD? Talking 550, 575. Yeah, yeah. And I don't ship any media mail. You know why? Because it takes weeks for them to get it. Somebody has a live setup with cameras. Yeah, so that I missed that last one. But it's really entertaining. If you're kind of bored, you want a good laugh, you want to make new friends, go on Whatnot. You don't have to buy a darn thing. Just be fun and happy. Tell them that you like their product. It looks great. You know, and that will help, especially brand new sellers. I feel so sorry for some of them when they get on there and they're so scared. I'm like, you're doing great. You're doing great. You know, love your hair, love your outfit. I love the color of that product you're showing. Just cheer them up a little bit, and they'll loosen up, and they get to be really super fun. But Jen's multi-universe from YouTube. Was it Jen's Multiverse? I think that's what she calls herself on YouTube. Well, she's also the same thing on Whatnot, and she's real sweet. She's got weirdo colors though. She's always got her hair weirded out some color, her nails weirded out some color. She might come on there with blue lipstick or some weirdness, and she has glasses, and she is just the sweetest girl in the world. She's just different, um, but she's sweet as pie, and really friendly and really nice to everybody, and easily distracted. She's such a character. God, she's a character. She come jumped on a couple of my shows today, which was really fun. I really enjoyed that. Um, she didn't buy anything. She just kind of hung out, and we were chatting and stuff. And then I told her to advertise her show on my channel, because I welcome her to do that. She helped me so much before I got on Whatnot, and I actually signed up with her originally, and they defunked me on the first run. But she answered all my questions, and I got her to do some YouTube vlogs as much as she didn't want to do them about Whatnot and giving some more facts and stuff. And they were very good learning videos, actually. She's real honest. That's one thing about her. I like her a lot because she's super honest, down to earth kind of person. No bullcrap. You'll think she's bullcrapping, but she's not. She's just real sweet and down to earth. She's a lot of fun to watch on Whatnot. And she'll sell you the bridge, man, 10 times over. She'll keep on describing it, man, as that time's running out of that timer for that auction. She'll still be going, well, it's blue and it's rolled, okay? And then it's like a little shiny, and it's a nice color for the winter. I mean, she's going on and on and on. She's trying so hard. And I really think that's why a lot of her stuff sells, because she's continuously picking on it. Sort of like when lawyers go to school and they're taught to argue. If they can't argue, they're just not going to be a good lawyer. So they have to practice arguing. And I have a lawyer friend of mine in Mobile that does that. He's like, go ahead, pick an argument with me. And we're like, what? And he's like, well, it's good practice for my law firm, in my work. Just pick an argument with me. Pick a fight. And he loves to do that because he wants to make sure he has all the comebacks in the world, just as in court. And so Jen is like that when she sells. It's like she's boom, 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 boom. She's got the argument of how good this item is, of the color, of the print, where you can wear it, who can wear it, how it's going to look, how it's going to be. I mean, she's just really very detailed. I don't know how she learned how to sell like that. I sold in the clothing industry for many, many years, even working for other very high-end retailers, and I was never that good. Okay, I was. I mean, she's like the bad car salesman. She's going to give you 150 reasons why you should buy it. It's entertaining because she's sweet as pie about it. You know, I mean, nobody likes bad car salesmen, but the way she does it, and she's gonna make you want to buy it. It's just hilarious. You will totally have a blast with it. And so you got to get on Whatnot and watch some of this stuff. It's a riot, but there's some killer deals on there. I'm not kidding you a bit. There is, I mean, some of the stuff you want to cry to see these people sell that stuff for $1 because they think it's going to get bid up to $1 million. It's not. If you're a brand new seller and you don't have that following, I'm telling you, you aren't going to sell poop, okay, for more than a few bucks. Unless somebody dropped in there, it's going to do you a favor because you got to have a huge following. The whole idea is to get a big following so when you turn on your show, then everybody turns it on because it sends a message to your phone. and you go, oh, so and so's on. And so you go over and click on their show. And so if you got a bunch of people in the room, you know, the chances of everybody bidding a dollar and bidding against each other is so much higher. If you've only got two, three, or four or five people, unless you got a big money person in there that's a regular of yours, you're not going to sell too good. You know, um, it's going to be low. So that's the whole idea is try to create a following. And every time you run a show, you'll get more people following you because they like your products, they like the way you talk, they like how honest you are. You know, they like your personality. And I mean they'll sub you in a heartbeat. You know, so I get most of my people from visiting around, from going to different shows, saying hello, and I don't solicit my shows or anything like that on other people's shows. I think that's super tacky. I'm not into that. And now if it's people I know, and they say, hey, when's your next show, and they want you to tell them on there. And a lot of times I go, hey, go to their show and check it out. Now I do that a lot with personal friends of mine. Chris Lynn at Daily Refinement, I'll advertise for him on my channel. I do it for Jen's Multiverse. I'll do it for Fantastic Mermaid, my friend Finn. I'll do it for Rockford. If you look at Rockford Vintage or Rockford VTG, he's out of Rockford, Illinois. And he's a funny cat. He reminds me of strip joint DJs. Um, and he is really, really nice, and he's a terrific salesman. And he does a lot of mystery packs with high dollar collectors t-shirts. Yeah. And he sell the devil out of those mystery packs. And then his wife sometimes will come sell on his show. And his wife is a doll. She is so sweet. I got on there one night and went, oh God, where's Rockford? There's this girl in here. And she was so nice. Oh my gosh, what a doll she is. So they're both great people. But there's some super neat. But a lot of people are leaving eBay to go and whatnot. A lot of them. I mean, I got in there and I'm like, man, I got 4,000 baseball cards. I go in there and I said, man, I'll sell it suckers for a dollar. I didn't sell one. So I said, well, I'll go on there and sell two for a dollar. Really smoke them out, right? I was selling two for a dollar. I didn't sell one. And it's kind of like you go, okay, well, you guys have a great night. Thanks for hanging out with me. And you just end the show because you're like so disgusted. You're going, oh my gosh, I didn't sell it yet. But it's a lot of it depends on the following. You got to sell different stuff all the time. That's a big trick. If you sell the same thing all the time, they're just going to get over you because they can only buy so much, you know. But uh, it's entertaining. You got to get on there and check it out. And it's very entertaining. It's free entertainment. It doesn't cost you a penny. If you sign up on my link, you get like a free 10 or $15 to spend on there. It's very easy to purchase. Like, probably about 6 or 7 items for a dollar with combined shipping on it for $10 from one seller. Okay, because there's a lot of them selling that dollar stuff, and it's like, ooh, on a hope and a prayer. When they sell new stuff, they sell used stuff. The tennis shoes is another big one. The tennis shoe guys that sell they're really expensive tennis shoes. I mean, we're talking like $200 to $1,000 for a pair of tennis shoes. It's really weird. I mean, I had a fiance. I bought him walking tennis shoes. I bought Carvel walking tennis shoes way back, way back, from a friend of mine that had a shoe store downtown on Cherry Street. And I said, I need walking tennis shoes for him, so he doesn't wear his penny loafers. And he used to be a runner when he was in school. So I wanted to get professional, really nice ones. And I spent like $275 on a pair of shoes to walk in. And that guy was a bad investment, trust me. I wasted all my time and all my money with that guy, and I was so in love with him. Yeah, what a waste. Such is life, the mistakes you make in life. Nothing is forever. But anyway, but yeah, you guys get on there and check it out. I hope we don't see the creepy seller on there. She's really super creepy. Really super, super creepy. Whoa. Um, that's a first. I don't think I've ever seen a horrible attitude seller on there ever. I don't think I have. I've seen a couple snotty sellers that sell high end stuff, and it's just like I click off and go somewhere else. But this girl, her mouth, oof, it just, I mean, it gave me the freaking willies while I was watching her, and the willies like when I clicked off. Really strange. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great one. Thought I'd jump in and say hi. I gotta go nighty night, so I gotta drive down the boulevard over here and get some rest. And I will talk to you guys in the next one. Do something kind for a stranger. Love everybody, and I'll see you then. Love you.